Hi friends, my name is Lokesh. Today we are going to learn what is a EMR, how to submit a job to the EMR, how to access a job logs in EMR, and many more. Okay, let's jump in. I'm assuming here you have already have a login credentials for logging into AWS Management Console. Once you log in with your credentials, your homepage will come. In the homepage, you can search as a EMR in a search button. Once you click on EMR, the EMR management console will come. So for creating a cluster, you can use a create cluster icon. Once you click on create cluster icon, there are two options will come. One is advanced option, one is a general configuration options. In a general configuration options, there are predefined set of services will be there. You need to choose among these actually. If you wanted to choose a customized services, then you go for advanced options. I'm going for advanced options. You will have a lot of freedom will be there to selecting a services. As of now, I'm creating this video on 28th January 2023. On this today, till now, the AWS has released the latest version as a 6.9. In 5.x, it's a 5.36. So I'm choosing the latest version 6.9 as per my demo purpose. So you can see there are a lot of services are supported by EMR. Currently, around 20 plus services are supported. So among these, depending upon the river requirement, then you can choose it. Right now, I'm choosing Hive and Spark. So I'm unselecting the rest of the services. So the next option is multi-master nodes. So this multiple master nodes mainly helpful in high availability for master node. If suppose one master node if goes down, other master node is serves for jobs actually. So there won't be any intermittent failures when you are executing the critical jobs. So if you have a requirement for selecting a multiple master node, go for it. As of now, I am not going. And the next option is a glue catalog settings. This glue data catalog will be used for storing the Hive table metadata. So if you want a glue metastore to be accessed, you can go and select. Or otherwise, if you are not select, the by default the MySQL will be installed on the master node of EMR cluster, and this MySQL will store the Hive table metadata. So the next is configuration settings. If you wanted to edit in any configuration settings like hive-site.xml, core-site, or any other configuration files related to the Spark, then you can mention in a JSON format. So I'm not mentioning over here. So I'm going for next option. So next option is a step jobs. So you can able to run a job, any Spark job or Hive job as a step job. So if you have a requirement, same thing like you during the provision of the cluster, once it provision, yes, a step job should run. Once it's completed, that the cluster should terminate. So if you have a requirement like that, then you go for step job option. So here there are two options you can able to see. Once a cluster auto terminate once the step job has completed, or the cluster enter in waiting state. So once it's completed. So if you have a requirement, you can go ahead. I'm not selecting right now. I'm going for the next option. So the next option is selecting the instance group. So in this, there are two types: uniform instance group and instance fleet. Uniform instance group means only single instance type will be there for master and a core nodes. So there you cannot select a multiple instance type. So in instance fleet, you can able to select a maximum 5 instance fleet. You have a freedom of selecting multiple instance fleet. Suppose once instance fleet, you have a freedom of selecting multiple instance type. If one instance type is not available in that availability zone, so or a data center, so the next instance type will be get chosen. So that right, you will have a there won't be any scenarios like due to the instance type unavailability, the cluster will fail. In order to avoid that, you can go for instance fleet. Right now, I'm going for uniform instance group. So the next one is you can able to change the instance type using edit option. So there will be a number of instance types are there based on your requirement. You can able to choose. For demo purpose, I am keeping a M5X large right now. This M5X large have a 4 cores and 16 GB RAM. For both master and a core, I am selecting the same thing. And also you can define how many core nodes if you need based on your requirement. And also you can able to select the task node also if you need. So the next one is a cluster scaling. This cluster scaling will be mainly used to scale the cluster based on a load. There are a number of matrices are there. Few of them are few of the important metrics is yarn available memory percentage and container pending ratio. Based on these two, the cluster will get scaled. There are few more matrices are there, but I am not going to discuss right now. If you need more information, you can definitely explore the EMR documentation for cluster scaling. Yeah. So the next option is auto termination. If you want enable auto termination, you can able to enable. This will gonna help in minimizing the billing cost. Say for example, if your cluster is unutilized for 1 hour, then cluster will auto terminate. So you can go ahead according to your requirement. So EBS, the next option is EBS root volume size. So if you have a requirement to have a more EBS volume for especially for root device, you can go ahead and increase the numbers actually. So right now for demo purpose, 10 GB is more than sufficient. I'm not going to now. So the next option is the giving the cluster name. You can give any name according to your wish. I'm giving EMR 6.9. So the next option is a logging option. Mainly this logging option will gonna store the log files, required log files in the S3 bucket. You can able to change the S3 bucket location according to your requirement. And the next is a termination protection. This option will gonna help in abnormal termination of EMR cluster. So always keep it enabled. So the tags. So tags are the information mainly used to differentiate between the EMR cluster. If you have a requirement for a tags, okay, you can go ahead and define, and or otherwise you can go. It's a optional. You can go further. So. And the next option is EMIs. So if you have a custom EMI created for your own cluster, then you can go ahead and select a custom EMI, or if you can use a EMR EMI also. This EMR EMI will be tagged permanently for a particular EMR version, and this cannot be changed. So whatever the available version, you can able to choose it. So the next option is bootstrap actions. So bootstrap action mainly used whenever if you wanted to install a customized library while provisioning a cluster, so that once the cluster got provisioned, you can able to use it readily. So say for example, if you wanted to install a NumPy library or Pandas library while provisioning a cluster, then you can go ahead and mention the bootstrap action over here. So the next, you need to select the EC2 key pair. EC2 key pair mainly used for logging into the nodes. So these key pairs will be available while you need to create the EC2 key pair using EC2 instances. So normally it will be available. So whatever available, you can go ahead and select the EC2 key pair. So the next option is security configuration. These security configurations are explicitly defined outside of EMR cluster provisioning. The mainly like encrypting the S3 bucket with the KMS keys, or specifying a SSL certificates during cluster provisioning. These type of security configuration you can able to specify over here. So the next one is EC2 security groups. Then normally by default, there are two security groups will be there, the master security group and slave security groups, mainly used for providing incoming accesses. So the next one is So then once you click on create cluster, this operation will take minimum 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to pause for a moment, yeah, and come back once it's completed. Okay, cluster is ready. So once cluster is ready, we can get a lot of information from the summary page. You will get a cluster ID, creation date, how much time it took, and then what's the cluster status right now, cluster waiting for to run steps, and then termination protection, this public DNS of a master node. This will gonna help in logging to the master node. And then persistent user interfaces. So we can use this user interfaces in accessing the logs, Spark UI logs, yarn time server, and then security access information. So you can able to see the security login credentials, your login key we have used, and then EC2 instance profile, EMR role, and then a security group for master and a core node, and then release information. And also you can see the EMI release version, and then we're going to see the network and hardware where the subnet information you can able to see where this cluster got installed. So the coming to the next tab, application user interface tab, here you will get information about WebUIs, resource manager WebUI, Spark Web, Spark history server WebUI, and HDFS name node WebUI. And then coming to the next is a monitoring. Right now it's all empty. So because we have just installed the cluster, so the all graphs are empty. And the hardware section, you can able to see what are the hardwares we have selected, instance type we have selected for core and a master node. And the configurations tab, we can able to see what all the configuration we have selected while provisioning a cluster. Right now we can see glue catalog we selected as a Hive metastore. And the events tab, we can able to see list of events got triggered. Right now we can able to see EMR cluster creation event has got triggered. And the next step tab, we can able to see nothing right now because we didn't added any step job during cluster provisioning. If at all, if you had any step job, you will gonna get a status over here. And bootstrap actions, right now we are not added while cluster provisioning. So if at all, if you mention any bootstrap actions, you will gonna get information. So coming to the next, we're gonna log into the master node using a public master public DNS, and then we're gonna try to submit a job. So I'm gonna close the whole sessions which I have used. So I'm gonna search a putty. So copy the master node, master public DNS information, and then paste it on session. And in SSH under auth, you need to mention the key, EC2 key pair key. Then you need to go for click on open. So once you accept dialog box, then click on enter as a Hadoop. So it will gonna log in. So once you logged in, you can able to submit a sample Spark job. So here I'm gonna using class SparkPy, and the jar is a Spark examples.jar. This jar you can able to access in this location. This jar is pointing to the Spark example 2.12, 3.3.0 Amazon 1.jar. So we will gonna execute command. So by default, this Spark submit is gonna execute on a client mode. So we will gonna wait until the job completes. So right now is in accepted state. So once it's a transition to running state, then the job will run. So the job has completed and pi value is roughly 3.1.114. So the job has completed. So coming to the next is how to access the logs. So through Spark WebUI. So in order to access the Spark WebUI or Resource Manager WebUI logs, for more information, you need to enable SSH tunnel for this. So go to the application user interface and you will get a resource manager link. So once you copy from the application user interface, copy into the Chrome. Okay, somehow didn't copy. Let me copy once again. Okay, so once you're trying to access, it will gonna display as error because we are not enabled SSH tunnel. So how to enable SSH tunnel? So the site cannot be reached. So in order to enable SSH tunnel, you need to follow some steps. So uh, the detailed steps are mentioned in EMR documentation. So let's search for EMR SSH tunnel. So you will gonna get a document link. In that link, they have mentioned how to set up a SSH tunnel. In order to SSH tunnel, you need to first install a switch omega. Switch omega is basically it's a proxy service need to be attached to the Chrome. So in the option 2 link, they have mentioned step by step. The following example demonstrate how to set up a switch omega for Google Chrome. So in order to configure switch omega, so first search for just type install switch omega for Chrome. So click on this, then it will go for proxy switch omega, add to the Chrome, add extension. So it will come like this. So you just skip guide. So then click on a new profile. So go to the document once again. They are mentioning step by step. Let me show you. So once you install, click on new profile and enter EMR socks-proxy. Give and enable a pack profile. Click on create. So you need to replace this pack script with the whatever the script mentioned in a document. So copy this and then paste into here. Then save it, apply changes. Once you apply changes, then your SOX proxy is ready to set up SSH tunnel. So once done, that's all. So you close this and then go to the EMR console summary page and click on enable SSH connection. So here for Windows, you need to follow some more steps. But if you are using a Mac or Linux, you copy paste after setting this switch omega, proxy switch omega, directly you copy paste into terminal. But I am using Windows right now. So I'm gonna copy the host information, and then go to the putty and then click on new session and paste over here and go for SSH, mention auth, EC2 key pair, and then go for tunnels and then mention as 8157. 8157 and then enable dynamic. So then click on add, then click on open. So once it's open, then you will gonna log in like this, but don't close this terminal, otherwise SSH tunnel will be broken. So just minimize it and then try to access the resource manager WebUI. So now try to access resource manager WebUI and then let's see whether I can able to access. Okay, let me see proxy switch omega. Okay, select EMR socks proxy and then try to access once again. Yeah, so now resource manager WebUI is displaying. So you can able to see the application which have just submitted Spark PyJob. And if you wanted to access the logs, go to click on the application and then click on the logs. So you can able to see different types of logs. Right now, I can able to see directory.info. These are the directories which are created at a runtime. And the next launch container.sh basically contains the host information where the container has been launched and export parameters. And then pre-launch.error consists whenever any syntax error came, while launching a job, then those syntax errors will be logged in pre-launch.error. And pre-launch.out also shows some of the information about env variables. So, and coming to the std error. So whenever when you are executing a job, if any errors thrown, those errors will be logged in under std error. Click on full log, then you can able to get a complete information about executors, how it got executed, if any executors thrown error, if any timeout issue or some other issue which has faced, those errors are all logged over here. Okay, so now resource manager, we came to know how to access the logs from resource manager, and let's access Spark WebUI. In the Spark WebUI, you can able to get more information about Spark jobs, how it has run. So for this also we need to enable a SSH tunnel. So we already enabled SSH tunnel, so there is no need to enable once again. So once it's opened, you can able to see the application ID. So click on application ID, you can able to see how many stages have ran and how many stages got failed, everything. Okay, right now it's all succeeded 100/100, and this is a operation which has done. So apart from this, we can get stages, storage, and environment details. So these are the parameters at a runtime. It has considered by Spark, so you can able to get information what are the parameters it took. And executors, see how much time each executors took. All this information will be available here. So apart from this, you can able to get Spark event logs from the HDFS location. Okay, seems it got disconnected for me. What I'm doing, I'm trying to restart a session. Let me relog in. Using Adobe user. So you can get Spark event logs in the path where log Spark apps. So here you can able to get Spark event log information, and also through CLI you can able to get yarn logs using the command yarn logs -- application ID. Then you need to provide application ID. Application ID, you can get it from earlier, whatever submitted. So, okay, so I have done some mistake. What is that? Okay, D capital. Okay, let me type a small letter D. I is a capital and D small. Okay, so here we go. This is how, right, you can able to access a yarn logs through CLI. So that's all. Uh, as part of this video, we have learned how to create a EMR cluster and how to log into master node and how to submit a sample py job and how to access resource manager URL and how to access Spark WebUI. Hi, that's all as of now. So subscribe to my channel and like this video. Okay, bye bye.